mean, this is a big body, physical quarterback. And I mean, quite frankly, Georgia hasn't had a whole lot of guys with this skill set. I mean, because we're in the Georgia world, you're probably going to get a lot of Matthew Stafford conversation just because he was a Mike Bobo guy and he was a bigger, stronger arm type of guy. I think that Jared's even a little bit different from that, just in terms of his natural mobility and some things like that. What's interesting with Jared is we don't know exactly yet how he's going to respond to elite competition. I mean, he plays in a lower level private classification in Tennessee, and he's the best athlete on every football field that he steps onto. Like if Nashville Christian wanted him to be their starting safety or starting middle linebacker, or even their starting edge rusher, like he could easily do that for them just with his athletic build and skill set. I think that there's a reason why Georgia went the extra mile to make sure that they landed Jared Curtis not just once, but twice in this recruiting cycle. They think that highly of him as a prospect, in talking with his quarterback trainer, Thomas Morris at QB Country Nashville. He says that this is the strongest guy that he's ever worked with at the quarterback position. And he's worked with some dudes like Daniel Jones and I'm trying to think some other people that he's worked with in the past as well, but big physical future NFL type of quarterbacks that he's worked with. And he says that Jared Curtis is the strongest of them all. It's a super lofty comparison, and he even acknowledged how lofty it is, but he brought up Josh Allen's name when he was talking about Jared Curtis because he just thinks that's what you see when you throw on the tape with Jared. And beyond just what the film shows you, some of the intangible stuff when it comes to toughness and competitiveness and work ethic and all of those types of things all fit in line with what he's heard about Josh Allen as well. And so I think that's why you're going to see that comp. But yeah, this is a guy that Georgia thinks has future All-American ability, and there's a reason why he is the top quarterback on the board and why it was so important to them to land him.
Yeah, just from what I've seen, big arm, really impressed with just his arm strength, his ability to throw downfield. Watching these highlights before we started recording, he's got very good accuracy. There's a few passes on this highlight reel where, I mean, he is putting it through some tight windows, very accurate. Not a lot of changing of the arm slot that I've seen, but he does have that capability. One thing that I've enjoyed seeing in this highlight, he's got the play action down. He is comfortable. Kind of want to see him pull the David Green. If you guys remember that back in the day, he could just hang back there in the pocket and he wasn't scared. And another thing that's not necessarily this huge, like, oh, this makes him a 5-star. There's a couple plays on here where there's a bad snap. And, man, he's just kind of cool, calm, and collected, gets the ball and makes a play. He's got athleticism. I think it would be a stretch to call him a true dual threat because, again, like Ben said, the biggest question to me about Jared Curtis is the competition. And he's going to face a huge step up in competition. But I really like this pickup for Georgia. I think he's a guy that, I'll have a column on Monday night just sort of talking about what's next for Georgia now that they've got Jared Curtis. But I think he's coming into a good situation in the fact that, more likely than not, he's not going to be looked at as a true freshman starter. He's not going to be thrown into the fire. And I think that's to his benefit. I think that being able to learn behind some veteran guys, being able to kind of sit back and learn behind a Mike Bobo, I think the tools are there. I just think it's a matter of, learning, growing with the level of difficulty going up significantly. I think it's a pickup Georgia fans should be excited about. Kipp, what about you? What has sort of caught your attention from Jared Curtis's highlights and just his physical ability?
Well, I will say that the level of competition does stand out a little bit. He's had time to throw a lot of the times, and you look at the pass rushers, he looks like he could be blocking some of those pass rushers at times. But the biggest thing for me is that his decision making has really made a big stride. And that's really what you want to look for, not just from the sophomore or junior season, which we're watching the sophomore highlights now, but junior to senior season, you want to see them continue to make steps in their decision making. It's one of the best, quarterback eval data points you can really take. And he's already taken such a huge step. Just going from 56% to over 70%, a lot more play under center, a lot more play action instead of rolling them out and splitting the field. forcing him to actually read the entire field and also not play hero ball. I mean, when you have that kind of arm, you just think, well, I can make any throw possible. I can thread the needle. I can layer the ball, which he can do incredibly well, but you also just have to still take care of the football. And he did a much better job of that and throwing a catchable ball his junior season. So I think the strides he's made in that really stand out to me. And the fact that I think he is going to continue to gain strength and get stronger, which is going to help him with the build he already has, just stay healthy throughout a season. Because if they're going to use him like a Josh Allen, if they're going to use him as a guy who can run and have run plays called for him, he's going to take hits in the SEC, some big time hits. And I just think that if he comes in and he's playing at 6'3", 235, they're going to be able to just open up the entire playbook, knowing that he's going to be able to take these hits and play 15, 16 games. So I just think that's a real big thing for what he's bringing to the table, just that physical build along with the arm talent, along with the ability to continue to progress as a decision maker and to throw a catchable ball. So it's an incredible package and something that makes a lot of sense for a Georgia offense that was at its best when it was using Stetson Bennett to extend plays and to open up the entire playbook in that manner. And I think he kind of brings that to the table with obviously an exceptional arm talent to add to that.